When I was 6 years old, my mother forgot to pick me up from school. She never came back. At least, that's what I believed for years. That she just got busy. That something came up. My kindergarten teacher kept patting my head, saying things like, "She's on her way, sweetheart, just a little longer." But the parking lot emptied. The lights in the hallway shut off one by one. The after-school aide offered me animal crackers while she kept checking her watch. By 7 p.m., it was just me and the principal sitting in his office. He asked me if I knew any other phone numbers. I recited the only one I'd memorized, my Aunt Bee's. She lived 40 minutes away. She answered on the second ring. When she walked through the door, her face was already crumbling. She knelt down, grabbed both my hands, and said, "You're coming home with me tonight, okay?" I asked where my mom was. She just said, "We'll figure it out." We never figured it out. My mother had left town that morning with a man she'd been seeing for 3 months. She cleaned out the checking account, packed one suitcase, and drove south. She didn't leave a note. She didn't call the school. She didn't tell anyone she was leaving a 6-year-old behind. My Aunt Bee lived in a narrow house with steep stairs and a garden that was more weeds than flowers. She set me up in her spare room that smelled like lavender and old books. The mattress was lumpy and the radiator clanked all night, but she tucked me in every single evening without fail. For the first year, I had nightmares about being left in that school hallway forever. I'd wake up screaming, and every time, Bee was already there, sitting on the edge of my bed with a glass of water. She never told me to go back to sleep. She'd just sit with me until the shaking stopped. I waited for my mother to come back. By 2nd grade, I stopped checking the mailbox. By 4th grade, I stopped hoping. Bee raised me on a receptionist's salary. She learned how to braid my hair. She showed up to every parent-teacher conference during her lunch break because she couldn't afford time off but came anyway. She taught me to ride a bike at 7 in her cracked driveway, running behind me until her shins were bruised. She never once complained. She just showed up every single day and loved me like it was the easiest thing in the world. Then last month, I got a message on social media from a woman I didn't recognize, tan, smiling on a boat. The message said, "Hi, baby, it's your mama. I've been looking for you." My stomach dropped. I didn't respond for 3 days. Then, curiosity won. She told me she'd gotten sober, found stability, remarried. She said she thought about me every day. She wanted to meet. I told Bee about it. She went very quiet, then said, "That's your choice to make." So I agreed to a lunch. My mother showed up in a silk blouse with perfect nails. She cried the second she saw me. She kept touching my face and saying, "You look just like me." She talked for an hour about her journey, her healing, her growth. Then she said the thing I'd been dreading. "I want to be part of your life again. A real part. I want to be your mom again." I set my fork down. "What's my middle name?" She blinked. "What? My middle name. What is it?" She opened her mouth, closed it. "Nothing." "What grade did I skip? What am I allergic to? What's the name of the dog Bia got me when I was 9? Total silence. Then I pulled out my phone and called Bee right there at the table. Put it on speaker. "Bee, what's my middle name?" Without hesitation. "Louise, after my grandmother." "What grade did I skip?" "3rd. You were reading at a 6th grade level and your teacher, Mrs. Whitmore, pushed for it." "What am I allergic to?" "Sulfa drugs and pistachios." I hung up and looked at my mother. She was staring at the table. "You gave birth to me," I said. "But she raised me. Every fever, every heartbreak, every homework assignment, every nightmare at 2 a.m. That was her." My mother started crying differently this time. Not the pretty tears from earlier. These were ugly. Real. "I made a terrible mistake," she whispered. "I know," I said. "But a mistake with a coffee order gets fixed in 5 minutes. A mistake with a child takes 20 years to understand." I drove to Bee's house afterward. She was in her garden pulling weeds, dirt under her fingernails, wearing the same faded sun hat she'd had since I was 7. I walked up and said, "Thank you for never leaving." She didn't turn around. She just reached back and squeezed my hand. "Wasn't even a question, Louise."